Hi guys, today I'll make a review of Emlid Reach RS3. Just to make it clear, this is not a sponsor review. I purchased this GNSS receiver with my own money.
A bit over a month ago I paid £2,500 and got this GNSS receiver from a supplier in the UK. But before buying it I didn't find too many reviews regarding how it performs in real life surveying, so I decided to make this video to help other colleagues that are interested in buying this GNSS receiver to make their decision and find out what are the pros and cons from another professional that used it in different types of surveying jobs. During this month I used the Emlid Reach RS3 on different type of jobs like topographical surveying, construction setting out and ground control points in dry and wet weather. In this video I will present the Emlid 360 app, results compared against the Trimble R12i, which is 10 times more expensive, real life test of how accurate is the IMU, how to survey, how to set up points and lines, how to import and export data, and at the very end I will add my own conclusion about the Emlid Reach RS3 if it's worth buying it. The GNSS receiver comes in a soft shell case where you can find the receiver, an antenna for use as base and rover, and a USB-A to USB-C charging cable. This case is pretty practical, sturdy, and it doesn't take too much space. Plus it has this strap that you can carry easier. There are plenty of YouTube videos on Emlid YouTube page about how to set the receiver that explains very clearly in case you decide to buy this GNSS receiver. You can use this receiver as a base and rover system, in which case you will need to purchase another receiver, or you will need to purchase a subscription from an N-trip provider to receive the RTK correction through internet from their network of base stations. I use this receiver with an N-trip service from Trimble called VRS Now because it's one of the best network in the world, and I am already a Trimble user. It wasn't cheap. It cost me around £1,500, but it's a very reliable service that you will need if you are a professional land surveyor. This receiver uses the Emlid 360 app that can be installed on any Android or iOS phone, tablet or other device. I installed the app on my Android mobile phone, set the hotspot and connected the receiver to the hotspot. Once installed the app, you will need to create an account and you can access your jobs from the Emlid 360 app on any device that the app is installed on, or even on your computer, as long as you are logged in. Before starting a job, I go to Emlid 360 where I'm already logged in. First thing that you will see are the jobs. I am paying an extra $25 per month for the survey license that allows me to create a library, and most important, to import the XF and set up points and lines. If you press the entry profile tab, you can add your entry details. If you go to my code library, you can create your own library for topo surveys, or you can use the Emlid one that is already pre-installed. The other features are self-explanatory. I will create a new project, write my project title, select my code library and coordinate system. Because I live in the UK, the coordinate system used here is OSGB 1936 and the datum is ODN height. You will have a very diverse coordinate system library. Just make sure you select the correct one for your area and for your project. Also, you can add the project description if you want and create your project. After pressing the create project button, we will get to this page where we can see a map. On the left hand side, on the object menu, if you press on the plus sign, you will see that you can create points or lines. If you go on the add point, you will get this menu where you create a new point by adding a name, description, code, coordinate system that can be local or global. You will add your coordinates and press create point to store it or cancel to exit without saving. If you press the add line button, it will create a line between 2 points from the map, but in this case we have no points. If you press import on the top menu, you can import different files like CSV, DXF, GIS shapefile or KLM. If you want to import CSV files, you will need to use a particular type, so I recommend downloading the example. If you press the three dots, you can edit your project information. From here you can change your map background from map to satellite. On the top menu you can measure the inverse between 2 points, and this traverse bar I never use it, so please write in the comments if you know what it does. Now I will import a CSV file for my next job. Press choose your file, select your file, and then it will get imported. As you can see, on each point it appears the code and the point name. You can see the point list on the left hand side, and if you press on a point, it will show on the right hand side the points code, coordinate system, and the coordinates. The coordinates can be changed from local to global. You can change the point details from here, or you can delete it. By pressing inverse, now you can see the distance or the height difference between two or more points. You can export the points in different formats, including a predefined CSV, custom CSV, DXF, KLM, shapefile, or even a setting out report. Now let's import a DXF to see how it looks in Emlid Flow. Go to import, select DXF, choose file, and it may take a few seconds depending on how big is your DXF file. As you can see, it doesn't separate the layers, so all the lines are the same layer and same color. So if you are planning to bring complex DXF files, maybe it is better to create multiple projects. Otherwise, it looks pretty okay, but you may be required to purge your cut files from any text or blocks before importing them. Also, I imported the grid line just for the sake of the example. I didn't mark the building grid lines and bolt paths using the GPS. Otherwise, it's the same as with the points. If you click on a line, it will show you on the right hand side the lines detail. These are 2D lines, so there is no height difference. Okay, I think now we're ready to go on site, so I will catch you there. First we need to turn the GPS on. You just press on the button and you're gonna see some white lines, and network that's gonna turn blue. Yeah, it's gonna take a wee while. Once you're gonna see the blue wireless sign, means it's connected to the internet source, which is my hotspot, and when you're gonna see the white mark flashing, means it's linked with my phone and my app, so it's good to go. So first thing what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna set out a point that I surveyed before with the Trimble R12i by doing continuous observation for 5 minutes. I actually recommend everyone to check against the old point before they start any GNSS measurements. I will enter in the Emlid Flow app, wait for the receiver to get connected. After that, I am waiting for the receiver to connect with my Ntrip server, select my project, and wait for a fixed solution. The blue dot on the map is my receiver's position. Last step is to calibrate the IMU by walking and tilting the receiver back and forth until the orange top bar becomes green. The next step is to press with your finger on the map the point that you want to set out and select Set Out. As you can see, the difference is less than 20 mil, which is actually very good. Now I will store the position, but as you can see, is set on 3 minutes, which is a bit too much. I'm not trying to get a control point, so I will switch that off and it's gonna be a single shot. After I store the position, you're gonna see another point, a blue point on the map. That means is a store position, is a survey position. And now I'm gonna show you how easy it is to set out points using Emlid Reach RS3. And this is how the result looked like. Next thing, I tested how accurate is the IMU and the tilt compensation. So I took 12 measurements at different tilting angles and compared them against the level measurement of the same point. I exported the points in a CSV, organized them in a Excel spreadsheet, and these are the results. On these columns are the coordinates for the point survey leveled, and that will be our reference measurement. On these columns are the coordinates for the points survey tilted, but also the tilt angle. You can find all this information if you export as the standard CSV. On the last columns, you will see the difference between the level measurements and the tilted measurement. And to be honest, I was quite pleasantly surprised because the worst difference is 27 mil, which is not too bad if you take in consideration that the VRS service accuracy is 20 mil. The highest tilt in my survey was 34.9 degrees, but Emlid states that the IMU works up to 60 degrees, which is a crazy angle to survey, to be honest. Last thing that I will show you before my final conclusion is to survey a road using Emlid Reach RS3 with the Emlid Flow code list, export as DXF, and then we're gonna look at the results. When you create a project in the code library section, you need to select the Emlid library. Now on the survey screen, you'll press the plus sign, press code, type a code. In my case, it is the road size, so I will choose asphalt pavement. Go to the point, press save. The number will change and you'll repeat the process. Once you finish your current line and you want to start another one with the same code, go to the three dots and select start a new line. Now I finished surveying both sides of the road and I will survey the center line. Press on the code and select the center line code. Once the survey was done, I went to my computer, entered Emlid Flow 360 from my browser, select my project and press export. I usually export as custom CSV on this format that you can see on the screen and put my codes in the description section because I found it quicker and I use a survey software that uses this format. Now we will export the DXF file, leaving just the height and coordinates will be local. Save and export. We open the file in CAD and it doesn't look bad, but as you can see, all the lines are in the same layer, which is not very convenient. If I press the list on the line, I can see that the line is 3D, but because Emlid Flow doesn't export the code lines in different layers, it means that you may need to create the layers manually, which is not ideal.
Now at the end of the video, let's go through the pros and cons of Emlid Reach RS3. Let's start with the pros first. First one is the price, and probably the biggest one. I don't think you can find another GNSS receiver with these specs at this price. This receiver tracks GPS, GLONASS, Beidou and Galileo signals, comes with a free field software and a free post-processing software, Emlid Studio. It has a tilt compensator and it comes with a caster service that allows you to create your very own entry base and send corrections through internet to your R3K drone or to another GNSS receiver. All of this at 2,500 pounds or less than 3,000 US dollars. Second one, you don't need to buy a controller. All you need is Emlid Flow app installed on your phone that you have already in your pocket. But don't forget to be in the external battery because the hotspot and the app will drain your phone battery in a few hours. The third one, the app is friendly and easy to use, as you saw, even for non-surveyors. The fourth one, it has an IP67 rating, so it can be used in the rain, like I had to use it multiple times last month. This is a feature very important for me because I live in Scotland, where it rains 2/3 of the year. Now let's talk about the cons. The software is very basic, which is fine if you are using it just for GCPs, control points, setup points, or basic lines, but you can't import DTMs, complex CAD drawings, and other complex formats. So if you need a receiver for heavy setting out, or you will need to survey thousands of points per day like I do, then you will probably need a more expensive branded system. Even if I own this receiver, I still need to hire a Trimble R12i from time to time for more complex jobs. Also, you need to keep in mind that you need to pay the £20 per month if you need more advanced survey features like set out lines, which you will add to your cost. Third one is the battery is incorporated, so you can't change it. If the battery is drained, you need to stop working, basically. Also, if you plan to use it more than 2-3 years, keep in mind that the battery will hold less charge and you can't replace it. Another one is it has only 184 channels, which is fine in open areas, but once you get in an area with less signal, you may lose your fixed solution quicker. In comparison, Trimble R12i, which I think is one of the best GNSS receivers at the moment, has 672 channels, but costs almost 10 times more. After 1 month of use, would I recommend it? I would say yes. If you plan to use it for control points, GCPs, for drone surveys, basic topos, volume surveys, or even basic setting out, just keep in mind that unless you plan to use it only for PPK measurements, you'll need to pay for an entry subscription or to buy another receiver and use it as a base and rover. Also, keep in mind that you need to pay the £20 per month for the advanced survey subscription. But even so, at this price, it's a very good deal. If you want to use it on complex setting out or more complex surveying projects, you'll be better off saving up and paying the difference for premium surveying equipment. I purchased the Emlid Reach RS3 initially to use it for survey control points and ground control points for drone survey, but I've been pleasantly surprised by the rest of the features and I ended up using it more than I expected. The low price saved me hiring a GNSS receiver for every small jobs, and I plan to keep it even after I will buy another premium GNSS receiver. What's your experience with Emlid Reach RS3 or Emlid in general? Leave it in the comments so everybody can find out. Also, if you like this one, subscribe for more, and I will see you on the next one.